Hi everybody, I'm back to stream some Game of Thrones. This is round, what are we on now, 6 of the Octgn tournament. I am currently undefeated, and I've been switching it up every week and using a different deck each time. This time I went with Targ Lion, which I haven't played a whole lot. It looks like I'm against Greyjoy Sun. This hand looks like a mulligan to me. Yeah, there's really no reason to keep this. Jorah and Drogo would be the best I can do there, and that's not good enough. This deck sets up pretty well in theory. Looks like not gonna get an excellent setup here. This is middling at best. I don't think there's any other way I could do that. Yeah, alright, here we go. Jaime, Merchant, Rose Road. Could be worse. I will, of course, publish the deck list as well, so you can check that out. It's underneath the video in the description. I'm playing against Greyjoy Sun, like I said, which is a deck that I've used myself a fair bit. And he's got a pretty good setup there. That's 4 cards, 8 gold, 3 characters, so hard to complain about that. Let's see, I've redrawn back into a Dany. Got Dany Drogon, or Dany Rhaegal, which I like, but I also have Khal Drogo, who pairs with Jaime, so I've got to decide who to drop first here. If I go with trading with the Pentoshi, that gives me 10, 11, 12 potentially. Which is enough for Dany Rhaegal and the bodyguard. And then hopefully I follow up with Drogo next turn. Or I could go summons, calling the banners, marched. None of those really do much for me. I guess this is it. Let's see what happens here. Alright, I can live with that. I think he chooses first player. And my Jaime is tapped for the round. Draw 2 cards. Tears could be nice. He's going to have 8 gold, I think. Yes. So let's see what you can bring out here. Economy so far. And the chair, that's going to be a problem. I can protect somebody with bodyguard. And he does have the stealth Octgn, which is why he went with filthy accusations to kneel Jaime, so that I'll have to bring out, what, at least 2 more military icon guys to block the chair. So that's not something I want to see early. It's going to be very difficult for me to play around the entire game. And he still has a fistful of gold. I have to admit this is a poor start, but I've come back from other poor starts already in this tournament. So we'll see if I can pull one out here again. Guess if I do lose Dany, I can always shuffle her back in, but I think I want to just play Rhaegal and put the bodyguard on her. Oh, that is a problem. That is a huge problem. Ugh. I hate Rattleshirt's Raiders so much. Every time I play them, they always seem to do nothing for me, and every time I have an attachment, my opponent has one immediately. Alright. They're just so hard to get rid of. I don't have Wildfire or First Snow. I have High Clay Military, Blood of the Dragon, and Marched, which is not ideal for this situation. I have to admit, it looks like I'm in trouble here. If I go... see, I effectively have 12 to spend. So I can go Drogo, Rhaegal, Drogon. And then that would leave me 7 to defend the military challenge with. He has a gold left, so now he can stealth 2 of them. But if I get 3 military icons out on the table, at least he can't chair anybody. So I think I don't have much of a choice. That's what I've got to do. The only question is whether I also want to play this guy. I think I want to keep him in hand so that my Dany and Tears don't get taken. Now, if he has a Kraken's Grasp here, then I'm just toast. I do not have a Hand's Judgment, and he is first player. He's got 4 cards in hand, so it might be okay. Yeah, he can do the intrigue. I can't afford to block, because then I get stealthed twice and lose the military unopposed. So I just have to hope this hits the bodyguard, Fire and Blood, or the merchant. If it hits Tears or Dany, I'm in trouble. Alright, so there's that. I played 1 Tears in my Greyjoy Sun deck. Guessing he's got more than that. Alright, and he takes my Tears, so that's not good. Alright. I'm running 2 bodyguards in this deck to basically build some towers on my 4 big characters. I think bodyguards are pretty good in First Snow meta now to protect those big guys when the Chuds leave the board. But not against Rattleshirt's Raiders. He's doing a military. I have to block. And again, if he has a Grasp, I'm in big trouble. So do I block with 2 guys just in case? He's only got 3 cards in hand now. I think I just do this. He's got it, he's got it. There we go. Alright, well this game is over already. Alright, guys. Sorry I didn't put up much of a fight. If you stop watching now, I don't blame you. but I'll play it out until the end. He's actually killing Rhaegal here. That's interesting. I guess that makes sense. So that I can't intrigue him back this turn. I must value those 2 cards in his hand. Okay, sure. And yeah, he may as well do the power challenge. I could oppose that actually, just to slow him down. I think that's what I do here. That prevents him from getting 2 more power. It buys me a little time to claw back in here. And then I can actually go ahead and win a power challenge. And that's all I've got. Alright. So now I could go Blood of the Dragon. It kills Edric and his Fishmonger, but it also kills my Merchant. Could go Calling the Banners to get Dany out, but I don't have all that many cards in hand. And he still has the chair for me to deal with. Chair and Rattleshirt's Raiders are really freaking good together. Alright, Marched does nothing. I could summon this just to get a dupe of Dany or Jaime. I think that's my play. Well, if I do that, then I can't even play play Dany. Be 1 gold short. Might have to be calling. Yeah, he refills his hand. It's not too surprising. I'll play first to take advantage of Jaime. So that's 6 gold. Alright, the dupe is nice. And then 4 more gold. So I can play Dany for 6 and Tyrion for 4. But I would like to have money for that Fire and Blood to get Rhaegal back. So what do I do here? Now I wish I had played this guy last turn. Alright, we'll start with the obvious while I mull this over. Oh right, of course. Tyrion gets me money. What am I thinking? And right now you're all wondering how I'm 5-0 in this tournament so far. Okay. So I have a small amount of hope right now. That chair is just going to wear me out turn after turn though. And now he's got card draw and or power gain. Alright, so I need to do an intrigue challenge. does have 1 gold left for Edric, which is obnoxious. Alright, let's do that first. Military with Jaime. I'm guessing he might just even let this go unopposed or just block with the Navigator. And then I'm thinking I do an intrigue with Jaime. Jaime or Tyrion. Is then on his turn, after he declares the military challenge and does his stealth, I can Fire and Blood in Rhaegal and oppose with Rhaegal. And he can't do a Kraken's Grasp again because I'm first player this time. Alright, he kills the Fishmonger as expected. So I do an intrigue here. Maybe I go with Tyrion so I can stealth Caliot, because if I go with Jaime, well, if I go with Jaime and he wants to block, he's going to lose, and then he's not going to have an intrigue icon to hit me back with, so it's not the worst deal in the world. I think that's what I do here. I cannot afford for this game to go long because that chair and his Great Kraken are going to give him a huge advantage in the long run. If I go Coppers next turn, have a little bit of economy, or I could go Blood of the Dragon and try and thin his board a little bit. It only kills Edric, but it makes it so these two guys can't do challenges. It'll die to Dany, so I totally forgot my Tyrion gold. Alright. Alright. So he takes away Tyrion's intrigue or Tyrion's power, one or the other, I'm guessing. I guess he's mulling over whether he wants to block with Caliot, which is fine with me. I just took my gold late, so he's certainly free to change his mind here. He lets it go unopposed. It's only one more power for me. He can probably get several power this turn between Kraken and Theon. Alright, he's discarded a hand's judgment. So I think I pass here. I need the rest of my guys for defending, I think. Drogon's just gonna get stealth. Maybe he'll win me dominance with that 4 strength. I guess he's mulling over whether I have a treachery to cancel the chair. So I go ahead and do this now. And bring back Rhaegal and oppose with him. Alright, so he's got the hand's judgment, I guess. Yep. Which means my Jaime is gonna die, my Rhaegal stays dead, and that probably does it. That was basically my last move. He has just had a ridiculous combination of events here in the first 2 games, first 2 rounds of this match. He's gonna kill Tyrion, perfectly reasonable. You can't really go wrong with either Tyrion or Jaime. At least it's the only challenge he's going to win this phase. Now he can't use Edric. Maybe I should have sent Dany on a challenge, although he took away her power icon, so I guess I couldn't have. I could have done the military or the intrigue with Dany instead of Jaime. Then I would have 2 military icons. I make him use the gold on Edric. That way he doesn't have a for hand's judgment. I guess that was the right play there, so I definitely messed that up. Alright, so I need to dig for an answer. Don't think Blood of the Dragon does enough for me here. But we'll see. I also think it's my only chance. Could really use a Jaime dupe right now. Alright, I assume he'll be first player here. Alright. Is that what it's called? Blood of the Dragon? Or is that the event? Yeah. So, I saved gold! Yay! Alright. A dead Drogo and a Jamie dupe. Alright. Did he actually say he was first? Yeah. So he's gonna have 7 gold, a reducer, a ton of cards in hand. Nymeria and Balon or Asha here would all pretty much be good game. I've seen this deck do ridiculous things in the few games that I've played with it. And I know it's been winning a lot of tournaments. Maybe not winning them all, Lanny tends to win, but making the cut reasonably often. So I figured I'd go with it. Maybe the plot lineup isn't quite optimized. You guys can feel free to let me know what you would do differently. I'm not sure that I really want Wildfire in here. I like having marched for Viserys and Jorah and whatnot. Alright, so he just brings out Balon. I'll count my 3 gold. And all I can bring out is the duplicate. I could do the bodyguard, but that would just be discarded right away. He's going to close very quickly now. I'll see, maybe I can bait him into thinking I have Dracarys or something and he'll make a mistake. Probably going counting coppers next turn. Maybe I can draw that Dracarys. So this is going to be unopposed. Nothing I can do about that. And he's going to get multiple triggers, multiple power out of this. Really wishing I had played something different now, but I guess you can't win them all. I'll definitely stick to just using this as one of my gauntlet decks. I wonder if he would kill Drogon or go for one of the dupes here. Again, either way, you really can't go wrong. 6, 7, 8 power right now, so he probably goes Clash of Kings or Rise of the Kraken and closes next turn unless I have an answer. Or multiple answers, really. Alright, so Rattleshirt's Raiders is 1 strength. Suppose I block this with Drogon and make him use another Grasp or something? Okay. So the threat of Dracarys kept him off of Balon. I guess that means he doesn't have a Risen in hand, which is good to know. actually win this because Balon's 4. He can't use the Navigator or it'll die. I guess Balon's actually -2. Yeah. Alright, unopposed and Renown. Man, a sword would have been nice there. There's 2 in the deck. That would have turned the tides a bit. So now the problem is if I do Intrigue, well, he can't block because of Blood of the Dragon and Danny, yeah, so I just do Intrigue here. Oh no, not the shipwright. Okay, so now if I do the power challenge, he can block with Calliot, who would be 1 strength, and Balon, who would be 4, against my 4. So he would win that, get Renown. And who would get Dominance? I have 3 gold, his 2. If I pass now, I have 4 here and 3 here. For 7, he'd have 4 here, 1 here, 7. We'd push for Dom. So I guess that's what we'll do. Alright, so we'll sort this out, and then I guess I go coppers and hope for a Dracarys. March does no good here. I've already spent my only bring back Rhaegal event in the deck. That's what it's got to be. I'm expecting Clash or Rise from him. Confiscation does nothing. I guess he just wins initiative. Kind of interesting. Alright, so of course I draw every Khal Drogo dupe after he dies, and I draw a Crown of Gold 1 turn after Blood of the Dragon when I could have actually played it. I even had enough money. Oh well. There's Nymeria with a dupe. So I can play the Crown of Gold on her, or I can play it on Theon. Or I could put it on Balon, and then he can't do any challenges, but he's got the Rattleshirt's Raiders. So I need to put it on Theon, I think. Alright, so Theon dies. And for a brief moment I'm winning 7 power to 6. Now if only I could draw Dracarys. Let's see, he's going Intrigue. I don't think I want to block this. Gives him a power, 2 power actually with Great Kraken. But I don't care about anything in my hand. I don't see any reason why he doesn't take the power here unless his hand is awful. He does only have 2 cards. Yeah, he's already got everything he needs on the board. My Danny does have Renown, but I only get to use her once per turn without Rhaegal. It does give me some draw. Maybe I can find Illyrio. I think I have 1 Illyrio in the deck. Alright, Power Challenge, Stealth Danny, so that's unopposed. So he's going to get close this turn. With Renown, he's at 12. I believe he has a military challenge left. So yeah, surely, yep. Take Jaime's military icon and swing. And I have no choice but to oppose this. And could have another grasp, but it's unlikely. Alright, my go. Nymeria's got a military icon. I'm actually not sure why he did that now. Whatevs. Intrigues unopposed. Okay, I can do power unopposed and win it and draw and get Renown, so I think that sounds good. So I'm gonna draw a card. It's a dead Tyrion. Alright. So he gets Dom. Puts him at 12 to my 10. And now certainly if he has Clash of Kings or anything with high initiative, he just plays that here and wins. I could go March to win initiative, but then I lose my Drogon. Really not seeing any outs here. It's well played on my opponent's part. He hasn't made any mistakes this game. And he certainly took advantage of every opportunity. Yep. I guess he didn't do that last turn because he wanted to get Nymeria out. But that'll certainly wrap things up here. So thanks for watching, guys. If you're pointing out a play mistake or anything interesting, just whatever, please include the timestamp. Just makes it easier for me to go back and find what you're talking about. I'll try to stream a casual game here or there. I know I've been doing only my Octgn tournament games lately. I just have been really busy. Totaled my car last week, so busy trying to replace that. But I do have a lot of fun decks that I want to show y'all as well. Tyrell Fealty, Stark Fealty, a few others. Drew Syrian Loyalist, that's not helpful at all. I think I'll just save us the time here. Well, we're close. Maybe he thinks I've got Dracarys. We'll see. Alright. Whoops. That was the wrong way. I really hate how this gold tracker thing works. Alright, I can play this dude. I can play this dude. And I think I may as well play this dude. At least I've got some marched fodder next turn. Although there's not going to be a next turn. Danny has stealth. Does that help with Balon at all? No, because he just takes her power icon away. If I had a treachery, that would help. But I don't even run any in the deck. I think I could maybe cut one, put to the sword for a treachery. I'm not sure. So he's not doing Nymeria to take the power icon and just swing with Balon. I guess he is afraid of the Dracarys, which would swing things around for sure if I had it. I've been through almost half the deck without seeing one. The Crown of Gold was just about the only card that showed up right on time when I needed it. I guess I could have thrown the Bodyguard out there just to make him swing with the Raiders. So I have to defend here as if I have the Dracarys to prolong that illusion. Other than Balon, who is super fragile, he doesn't have a whole lot of other firepower right now. He hasn't drawn into Asha or Syria or Rita or anybody. Euron. He's got a ton of economy, but very few cards in hand. Talking about math, so maybe he's thinking about a power challenge without Balon. He's at 12 right now, he's got 2 claim. So if nothing else, he definitely just throws a huge power challenge at me and wins it and takes 2 claim, and then there's no way I win this turn, and then he can just play another high initiative plot next turn and win, right? Although I guess I can potentially win initiative with March next turn. He's got the King's Road out. That only bumps something up from 7 to an 8, which I guess Wildfire is a 7. Alright, he's doing the intrigue here, which if I let it go unopposed gets him to 14. If I block, with Danny, then he can take Viserion's power icon, go in that 2 claim power challenge easily. Now what would he take? Alright, if I let this go unopposed, he gets to 14. He can take Danny's power icon, and then he just does a power challenge and wins. So I can't let it go unopposed. So I have to block. I think I block with Danny, because Jamie can still potentially do 2 challenges on the attack at least. Although if I oppose, then he takes away another icon. He takes away Jamie's military, which makes sense. That's where my renown is. Speaking of renown, I almost forgot Danny's right there. Alright, so he's still mathing this out here. This is taking a little while. Maybe I can plot a modified win. Just kidding. So while I've got your attention, just if anyone is still watching, I'm going to feel free to ramble a little bit here. I do keep up the community FAQ and list of resources, which is a pinned thread on CardGameDB, so if you haven't seen that, definitely go check it out. That's something that's geared towards newer players, to introduce them to the game, kind of walk them through just some of the basics about the community and all of the resources that are available. But it's also a good catalog for veteran players as well. If you can't find something, it's probably in there. So I like to think that that's a good thread to have bookmarked. I'll also keep up a spoiler spreadsheet, which some people prefer to Board Game Geek. I know a lot of people love Board Game Geek. The For the Watch guys, sorry, over at Board Game Geek, they do a good job. But I like the spreadsheet format a little bit, so I keep that up. What else? We have a regional in Georgia, the Atlanta area, northeast, or I guess north of Atlanta. It's May 7th, and we've got some pretty cool prizes, some tokens for the top of each house, and some alternate art cards that are really fantastic. There's a thread on Card Game DB that you can check those out. Anyways, back to the game here. Alright. So I can oppose this, lose. He goes to 14. So the problem is here, I have to keep that Dracaris threat up. I only have 2 military icons. And he can take one away with Nymeria, so I cannot afford to kneel one of those guys for this power challenge, so I'm going to lose the power challenge, it would appear. But I can at least block with a dude. Right. Yes. Alright, that puts him up to 14, pulls me down to 9. He's got, what left? A military challenge. So I think he just sends either the Rattleshirts or Nymeria here, either one. And I block with, what, Drogon? And then kill one of the Jaime dupes. Okay. So now he's taking away Drogon's military. I think it was last turn that he took away Jaime's military with Nymeria. So he's going in for the military with everybody, so if he's sending Balon, why would you not have just done that before? Alright, this whole game was awful, because kneeling Dany let him use Balon anyways, so I'm not sure what I was thinking there when I blocked with her. That just shows my inexperience with Targ. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Sorry that was not much of a game and it dragged on for way too long. So I apologize for that, but come back again next time, subscribe. I'll have some more good content. Thanks, guys.